life, your world, your news. This is 69 News at 6.
It's a plan that's been debated for months. Tonight, Allentown residents will have their say on a proposal to build luxury townhomes downtown.
Afterwards, city residents or city council will vote on a zoning change that would allow the plan to move forward. WFMZ's Jocelyn Moses live once again in Allentown with the very latest. Jocelyn.
Wendy and Rob, the public hearing is just getting underway. Tonight is the chance for residents to let city council members know how they feel about the possibility of townhomes going up in their backyard. The possibility of putting 63 townhomes where 3 city parking lots now stand doesn't sit well with nearby resident Annette Scheckler. She says the proposal will bring more problems than anything else. Her biggest concern, parking.
There are more people already have moved into the neighborhood, and when these neighborhoods are losing more and more parking, actually every day, less and more parking on the streets.
Scheckler also worries with so many homes in such small spaces, police and fire services will suffer.
The areas between the homes, are they going to be able to bring a truck through, walk through with a hose? Those are really, really big concerns.
Meanwhile, City Council member David Bausch believes the positives outweigh the negatives.
We're looking for some new housing to encourage new people to move into the community, substantial people. Young business people.
Bausch says the proposal will pump new life into the city.
We have to look at the total benefits of the city. We'll never be a shopping center again as we once were, but it certainly can be a bedroom community where people come in and enjoy the downtown.
We, of course, will have much more on the public hearing and how council voted tonight at 10. We're live in downtown Allentown. Jocelyn Mose, 69 News.
All right, thanks, Jocelyn. Well, another hit for Allentown's credit rating. It's been lowered again by Standard & Poor's Rating Services. This is the third time the city's rating has fallen during Mayor Offenbach's administration. The lower rating means the city will face higher interest rates and insurance costs when it borrows money. Standard & Poor's says Allentown's total debt stands at $160 million.
Multiple bomb scares leave some parents on edge at an elementary school in Berks County. Yesterday's bomb scare at Muhlenberg Elementary was the third one in 2 weeks. Some parents say their kids are too scared to go to school. District officials say they've sent out letters to parents after each incident, and they say a lot's going on behind the scenes to keep students safe.
Mr. Beveridge, who is the principal, and his assistant principal have been working with teachers and putting some things in place. And of course, there is an ongoing investigation with the police. So I really can't give too many details, but we're doing everything possible to make sure that the safety of the students is coming first.
A letter sent home with students today explains specific changes the school is making. Students who joke about the threats will be disciplined and possibly suspended.
Well, one Warren County community is considering making some areas of town off limits to sex offenders. A member of town council is planning to propose legislation that would create pedophile-free zones near schools, parks, and playgrounds in the community. Registered sex offenders would be prohibited from living in those zones. Hamilton Township, New Jersey approved a similar bill, and that's the hometown of Megan Conca, who was killed by a convicted sex offender in 1994. Well, police are trying to track down this man. His name is Patrick Horan. Police say he tried to rape a woman inside her home in West Easton last month. The woman told police that Horan broke into her home, threatened her with a knife, then told her he'd kill her if she resisted. Police say he ran away after another man showed up to help the alleged victim. Police say Horan has been in trouble with the law before, and he should be considered dangerous.
Investigators were back out on the scene today of a massive fire in Catasauqua. That fire broke out yesterday morning in an apartment building in the 700 block of Front Street. The building is a total loss, and some 24 people have been left to find somewhere else to live. Some of them came from nearby buildings. The Red Cross is helping out the victims of the fire. There is still no word yet on what sparked it. Fears tonight that rising energy prices could slow growth in Pennsylvania's economy.
It is many from large businesses right down to your local restaurant worried about what it could mean to the bottom line.
WFMZ's Scott Knoll takes a look and tells you what the state is hoping will keep companies from cutting back.
Inside Easton's River Grill, a steady stream of regulars keeps the kitchen hopping. But now rising fuel costs are threatening one of the restaurant's busiest times of the year.
We're not seeing the reservations for the holiday season that we maybe saw last year.
Typically, between December and January, corporate holiday parties pack the place 5 to 6 nights a week.
That's the time of the year when companies aren't afraid to spend that little extra padding that they've been holding on to, and maybe they don't have their padding this year.
It's a concern not lost on Harrisburg. During an afternoon news conference in Doylestown, the state's labor secretary admitted the trickle-down effect of rising fuel costs could kill momentum as Pennsylvania and the governor work to revive the economy.
We're seeing a growth in the economy and the jobs, and he doesn't want that to come to a grinding halt or for there to be any roadblocks.
To try and keep registers ringing, the secretary says the state will work with businesses and utility companies to weather what could be a rough winter for energy.
The key is to convince them with various incentives, whether there can be grants made available, whether the payment of their utility, their energy costs can be paid off over a period of time.
Hope they're counting on to keep business cooking at the River Grill.
We're keeping our fingers crossed that we keep on rolling and gas prices will start rolling down.
In Easton, Scott Knoll, 69 News.
A pay raise Pennsylvania lawmakers gave themselves over the summer still isn't sitting well with a lot of residents, and that's according to a new poll by the Quinnipiac University. More than 1,500 voters were surveyed, and 61% said the pay increase should be repealed. 22% called for the raise to be scaled back, and there is some good news for lawmakers. The poll found that 57% of voters wouldn't hold the pay raise against them at election time.
He's only been on the job a few days now, but already Chief Justice John Roberts is being put to the test on a tough case. The Supreme Court is hearing a high-profile assisted suicide case that comes from Oregon. Roberts had some sharp questions for a lawyer defending an Oregon law that allows doctors to help terminally ill patients end their lives. Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy says the case could be one of the toughest of the court's term. Researchers are looking to the past to help head off a possible flu pandemic in the future. They've recreated the Spanish flu virus, the one that killed as many as 50 million people back in 1918. They're trying to understand how the bird flu passes from human to human. So far, the current Asian virus has killed at least 65 people. So far, the strain has only spread from person to person in rare cases.
The probe into what caused a tour boat to flip on Lake George continues tonight. Investigators are now looking into whether the passengers exceeded the weight limit on the Ethan Allen. They're running tests on a sister boat to see what they can find out. 20 people died in the accident on Sunday. The former chairman of the National Transportation Safety Board says flotation device requirements may have prevented the high death count.
I certainly hope that this will result in more states now. We presently have 4 states requiring the use of personal flotation devices, particularly in commercial operations.
Nearly all 47 passengers were from Michigan. Many survivors have been making their way back there yesterday and today.
Central America is cleaning up now after a deadly hurricane, while more tropical weather brews to our south. Hurricane Stan spawned storms and mudslides that killed at least 62 people, 49 in El Salvador alone. Stan weakened as he moved over Mexico, but not before leaving behind a mess of uprooted trees, washed out bridges, and roofless houses. Now forecasters are keeping an eye on Tropical Storm Tammy closing in on the Florida coast. Let's get the latest on the forecast now from Kathy Crane in the Weather Center. Kathy.
All right, thank you very much, Rob and Wendy, and good evening, folks. Quick update on Tropical Storm Tammy. Let's go right to the very latest 5 o'clock report concerning Tammy, continuing to produce heavy rains across northeast Florida. Right now, she is in a position of just about 35 miles east-southeast of Jacksonville, Florida. And she has winds of 50, gusts up to 60 miles per hour. And I'll tell you what, she will continue to cross over the very tip of the northeast Florida and eastern Georgia with tropical storm warnings in effect for Georgia and southeast South Carolina. Winds gusting again up to around 55. Tammy could reach Category 1 hurricane strength before landfall sometime between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. But we actually here saw some breaks in our clouds as we take a look from Skycam 1. High atop our tower, current temperature is 78. Unbelievable for this time of year. Dew point 60, humidity at 54, and winds are variable. Brief check on the very latest Doppler. You can see all that moisture down in right in the tip of Georgia and South Carolina. We will see some of that moisture come into play along with a couple of other variables that will give us some much needed rain, but also don't enjoy these summer-like weather too much longer. We're going to have a drastic change for you in just a few hours. We'll have an update for you in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Kathy. Still to come on 69 News at 6, new challenges in New Orleans where cleanup crews are getting a better idea of just how long they could be on the job.
Plus, how helping hurricane victims could actually give you a break in the kitchen. 69 News at 6 is back in a minute.
When you see news happening, call 69 News at 610-791-1111. In Berks, call 610-372-6969. You're watching WFMZ TV 69 News at 6 with Rob Vaughn, Wendy Davis, Troy Hine with sports, and Kathy Crane with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast.
Federal officials say it'll take at least a year to clean up all the hurricane debris in Louisiana. The EPA's first task is getting rid of the waste that can actually be harmful. That includes paint cans, propane, paint thinners, and any kind of hazardous household chemicals. But with so much waste and not enough people to dig deep into the debris, crews can only get what they can see.
If we're lucky, we'll probably get maybe 20%, 30%, somewhere right around there.
Environmental officials are also trying to dispose of another potential hazard in Louisiana, refrigerators, some with rotting food in them left by the side of the road.
Besides the massive cleanup underway, many New Orleans residents now have a new concern: where their paycheck is coming from. Mayor Ray Nagin says the city has to lay off some 3,000 workers. That's half of the city's workforce. Nagin says the move is necessary because Hurricane Katrina has left the Big Easy without any form of revenue.
I wish I didn't have to do this. I wish we had the money and the reserves and we had the financial backing to not do this. This is horrible. I mean, a lot of these people lost their homes.
The layoffs don't include any police officers or firefighters.
The Red Cross is hoping you'll chow down today for a good cause.
It's Dine for America Day, and restaurants everywhere are banding together to raise money for victims of Hurricane Katrina and Rita.
WFMZ's Carl Madonna is joining us live in South Whitehall Township with more. Carl?
Hi again, Rob. Well, at 5 o'clock, we first told you about restaurants across the Lehigh Valley, but also across the country tonight that are trying to help out the Red Cross and victims of Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Rita. What they're going to be doing is donating a portion or all of their profits to the American Red Cross. And one of the hot spots for the fundraising is this stretch of Cedar Crest Boulevard here in South Whitehall Township. You have the Carrabba's, the Perkins here, but if you're not in the mood for a big meal, perhaps you just want a burger and a shake, why not come down to Friendly's? And Michael Jernigan is joining us now from this particular chain. And Michael, the thing I'm so impressed with is that all the employees are really excited about this tonight. Tell me about that.
Sure. The staff has been very excited, and the customers have been very excited to get involved. And we just want to do our part to help out the victims. Wish there was more we could do, but everyone in Lehigh Valley, it's full of a lot of good people that have been coming in and supporting the cause.
Now, we were chatting just a moment ago. You said that the phones have been ringing off the hook here all day. People interested in this Dine for America campaign. Tell me about that. What are they saying to you on the phones?
Sure. Well, they're basic questions. They just want to know how to get involved. And it's as simple as, going out and just having a good time, getting something to eat. And it's all for a good cause. And it's going to, the people, the victims of the hurricanes. And hopefully we can help out.
Excellent. Michael, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Sure,
have a good one. And keep in mind, folks, several restaurants across the Lehigh Valley are doing this tonight. Log on to our website, WFMZ.com. You can click on the data bank section for a complete list of those restaurants. So give yourself a break tonight. Don't have to worry about doing any dishes. Come on out and chow down for a good cause. We're live in South Whitehall Township. I'm Carl Madonna, 69 News.
Nothing like chowing down for a good cause, Carl.
Nothing like it. I'm trying to get some free food out of this at some point.
You got us hungry, of course. And Carl, of course, is always on the prowl for free food. Next in sports, Lehigh's football team is preparing for Saturday's Patriot League opener at Goodman Stadium.
And two perennial playoff teams were battling today in Northampton. We'll have the highlights up next.
Wish you could have one of those TV designers pop in and transform your rooms for free? With Lazy Boy Furniture Gallery's complimentary in-home design assistance, you can. Stop by today.
Need a new sofa? Trade-in days, where your old sofa or chair is worth money toward a new one. Looks like you can teach an old dog new tricks. Right now, only at Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries.
There's one way in and only one way out. Follow the twists and turns. Search for clues. Bring your friends and family and have fun. Visit Unang Street Farm and Bath and join us for a corn maze and scavenger hunt sponsored by WFMZ TV Channel 69. After you've made it through the maze, stock up on pumpkins, mums, and all kinds of fall decorations. There's a petting zoo and plenty of activities for the kids. Visit Unang Street Farm and Bath every weekend in October and get lost in fun.
Well, a local bank has made good on a promise to help out the Allentown Ecumenical Food Bank. National Pen Bank dropped off 12 boxes of food at the food bank today. The goods were collected at branches throughout the Allentown area. The boxes were a welcome sight for workers at the food bank who have had to turn needy families away recently because there just wasn't enough food to go around.
At one time, we were very low on food, and again, thank God we're rising up on the food, and we're being able to help quite a lot of people.
Let's try to think of that first bill's name.
National Pen Bank will continue collecting non-perishable goods through the 15th at the 3 branches that you see right there on your screen, or maybe you don't see them right there on your screen. But at National Pen's 3 branches.
All right, look it up in the phone book.
Yes,
National
right.
Pen
National
Bank.
Pen Bank.
They'll be glad to help you out there. All right, to sports with Troy. We get going with some field hockey.
Yes, and 2 teams that are typically in the mix in the LVC. Parkland and Northampton both have long-standing field hockey traditions. Both programs are typically in the playoffs, battling for District Gold and District 11. This year, they both have a shot to be in the mix again. Today, they met in Northampton, a regular season battle, maybe a preview of what we might see later this year in the postseason. We start in the first half. Northampton at home, getting off to a good and very fast start. Off the corner, Kirsten DiNardo is going to take the shot right there and put it away off the board. As you see, the K-Kids out early, 1-0 your lead at that point. Later in the first, though, still 1-0 Parkland, trying to tie it up. Jenna Cacciatore rips it. You see it go over the line before it's saved. She gets credit with the goal. It's a 1-1 game. Second half, game now tied at 2 after they exchange goals one more time. Northampton sends it in. Ashley Santee gets it to Amy Corin. Corin in front, going to poke it in right there. That's your game winner. Northampton victorious today. Your final 3-2. After 4 non-league games, the Lehigh football team finally opens Patriot League play on Saturday. Lehigh hosts Holy Cross and former defensive coordinator Tom Gilmore, who's now in his 2nd year as Holy Cross's head coach. Dave Lesko has more on the Mountain Hawks' first league game.
After a lackluster win at VMI 2 weeks ago, Lehigh regrouped on Saturday and thumped Harvard 49-24, ending the Crimson's 13-game winning streak. Despite throwing 3 interceptions, Mark Borda threw for 347 yards, and Eric Rath rushed for 3 touchdowns for the 2nd straight game.
The most exciting thing about the offensive performance from my end was our ability to overcome adversity. Nobody got down, nobody got upset when we had some setbacks early in the game, and we turned around and made a lot of plays down the stretch.
This week, after 3 straight road games and a 3-2-1. This week, after 3 straight road games and a bye, Lehigh returns home to Goodman Stadium and opens up the Patriot League portion of their schedule in the process. Holy Cross comes to town ranked 2nd in the league in offense behind Lehigh, averaging 34 points per game.
I mean, I think Coach Gilmore's done a great job up there. You know, they're so much better than they were last year. They have 2 great running backs, Silva and Akonde. You know, we got to stop the run, and they have a veteran quarterback, a 3-year starter, O'Neill at quarterback, and they spread the ball around really well. And you know, we just got to shut down the run game and hopefully get some turnovers.
The Mountain Hawks feel some pressure this week because 1 loss can be disastrous on the road to the Patriot League title. But they've been in pressure cooker situations all season long and are letting it roll off their backs.
This is what it's about as a Patriot League. I mean, this gets us the playoffs. This gets us the championship. You know, this is what it's most important part of the season. I mean, Delaware and Harvard and VMI and Monmouth are nice games, but it's nothing compared to the Patriot League.
I think we played in some big pressure games already this year, and I think that, you know, going down to Delaware, going up to Harvard, doesn't get much pressure than that, you know, and I think we're ready to handle it. You know, we know how important it is. We know that 1 loss can keep us out of the playoffs, and we'll be ready to play.
In Bethlehem, Dave Lesko, 69 Sports.
Thank you, Dave. It's a little ironic that the 2 teams that beat out the Phillies this year are playing each other in the first round of the NLDS. East Division champion Atlanta welcomed wildcard winner Houston to Turner Field in Game 1 of the series this afternoon. Winner moves on to the NLCS to take on either the Cardinals or the San Diego Padres. Top 3rd in this game, a 1-1 game, when Morgan Insberg, with the bases loaded, grounds that one between 3rd and short. That scores 2, and the Astros, like they did last year in the NLDS, beating up on the Braves at that point. But bottom 4, it's a 4-1 game. Andrew Jones having an MVP kind of year, takes this one out to center. He had 51 in the regular season. This is his first postseason home run. That made it 4-3. Right now it is a 5-3 game as they play baseball in the 6th. The Astros leading the Atlanta Braves. And it's the same story for Atlanta if they don't win this year, which is you win the NL East and then bow out early in the playoffs, even though you're favored. Yeah. So they're trying to turn it around. We'll find out if they can.
Okay, thanks, Troy.
All right, well, after the break, Kathy's back with the full forecast. Stay with us.
At JF Wolf Insurance, we know that everyone has different needs, different priorities, and different dreams. That's why we pride ourselves on not just selling you. We talk to you, we listen, and match you with the best insurance policy for your needs. Unlike other companies, we at JF Wolf Insurance offer a variety of insurance carriers to choose from, giving you more options, just like you want. Come see the difference at JF Wolf Insurance.
Tom, is it true that you recycle over 68 tons of cardboard a month?
Yes, it is, Kathy. But every day I see businesses and residents alike throw this valuable resource in the trash. Here's the Tice Kornfeld Recycling Center. We can take your cardboard, your brown paper bags, and we can even take your flatboard as long as it tears brown or gray. Give us a call at 865-7082 for more information.
Help save our environment and your money. Don't trash it, recycle.
Lipkins Furniture in its Lazy Boy Gallery is more than a furniture store. We're a showcase of fine home furnishings with 6 large floors of famous name brand furniture at everyday guaranteed low prices. Like our Englander Mattress Gallery for the finest in pure latex and Visco memory foam sleep sets. Take 12 months to pay interest-free, plus get a bonus bed frame or pillow set with your Englander purchase. Lipkins Furniture, your home furnishing showcase, 3rd and Ferry Streets, Easton.
Your family is your most precious possession. Help keep them safe with a home security system monitored by ADT. ADT offers the highest quality services for fire and burglar protection. It helps eliminate fear of intruders. Feel safe when you come home. Make an investment that could save a life. Call TRA Security, your ADT authorized dealer. Ask about our special offer. Call 1-866-891-2717. TRA Security, where your peace of mind is our only concern.
Tonight's AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Acura, Honda, Hyundai, Suzuki on the Lehigh Street Auto Mile.
Lehigh Valley certified used cars on the Lehigh Street Auto Mile has joined Lehigh Valley Honda, Hyundai, Suzuki. Vinart Used Car and Truck Center has become Lehigh Valley certified used cars. What does that mean? A bigger facility with bigger inventory and even bigger savings. Save big on over 200 certified used cars, trucks, and SUVs that go through a demanding 150-point service before getting simply the best stamp of approval. So come visit the all-new Lehigh Valley Honda, Hyundai certified used cars on the Lehigh Street Auto Mile.
And welcome back, everyone. As predicted, a very active tropical season. We are tied, as I'm going to step out of the picture just for a second, folks, to get a full view of this. Tied in 1995 for the most number of named storms in a season. Tammy, of course, is our 19th storm for this season. We've got 2 more names to go, Vince and Wilma, before we switch to the Greek alphabet. An unbelievable, very, very busy season. Right now, we have Tammy producing rain in northeast, a very corner, just a little bit in Florida right here, but the most of the rain is now in eastern Georgia. Meanwhile, we could have the possibility of Vince on the maps by Friday, and that may affect our weather pattern along with Tammy. We're still going to watch Vince very, very carefully, but it's very, very possible that Vince will continue to grow as the possibility of the next named storm by Friday. Tonight, though, still on the issue of the fog to deal with, along with a lot of cloudy skies out there, still very mild as we head down to 58 degrees, 57, 59, and tomorrow's highs going up to 79, 78, and 75 degrees. Now, this is what's going to happen, folks. What is going to happen is a very active weather pattern across the nation. First of all, we've got our first major snowstorm. I know Wendy's just dying for this first snowstorm of the season, moving over the northern plains, dumping about a foot of snow in North Dakota. We won't have to worry about that, but here is the line that separates all of this chilly Canadian air mass along with our warm, sultry air. This approaching cold front separating all that cold air from our warm tropical air mass. Factor in one or two tropical features like Tammy moving up the coast. Here comes the cold front. All of this sums up to a very tricky forecast. Right now, it still appears that our best shot for heavy rains, and we desperately need the rain by Friday through the early part of Saturday, with a chance that our drying out could be delayed until Monday. And of course, the biggest change will be the cold air behind the front, dropping us to a good 12 to 15 degrees for a high. Summing it all up, overnight low 58 degrees. Watch out for that fog and some more clouds. Clouds and rain moving in latter part of Thursday into Friday. A lot of soggy stuff on Friday with a high of 71, but look how the temperatures drop down into the 60s by Saturday with some leftover showers and mostly cloudy skies the rest of the day. Breaking things up on Sunday, still though the possibility that we still could see some lingering showers on Sunday as well. Monday 64, Tuesday 66, we drop back down into the low 60s by Wednesday. So we could get that shot of snow, Wendy.
Oh,
with that, no.
What? Not talk about that. All right.
I know, we'll have to, you'll be disappointed, but.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed. We'll be right back.
Here is the spokesman for American Furniture, All-Pro kicker, David Akers.
Wake up, David. The season's about to begin.
On a Sealy mattress, David may be sleeping on the job, but not Robert.
It's good.
It's all good here at American Furniture.
Robert is waking up the valley with pre-season savings store-wide.
Take it from my most famous customer.
Nobody sells furniture less than this guy.
American Furniture and Mattress Outlet.
By American.
Now.
And that'll do it for this edition of 69 News at 6.
I'll see you back here at 10. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.